The old house on Maple Street had been abandoned for years. Its dark windows and crumbling facade stood as a silent testament to a past long forgotten. But for Julia, a budding urban explorer with a YouTube channel dedicated to documenting haunted places, it was the perfect location for her next video. As she approached the house one foggy evening, she felt a shiver run down her spine. The air was heavy, and an eerie silence enveloped the surroundings. She set up her camera, recording her introduction. Hey everyone, it's Julia here. Tonight, we're exploring the infamous Maple Street house. Rumor has it that no one who enters this place ever comes out the same. Let's find out why. With a flashlight in hand, Julia pushed open the creaky front door. The inside was musty and filled with decaying furniture, peeling wallpaper, and scattered debris. She panned her camera around, capturing the haunting atmosphere. She began her exploration in the living room, narrating the history of the house. According to local legends, the previous owners, the Thompson family, had vanished without a trace one stormy night, leaving everything behind. Since then, strange occurrences had been reported by anyone who dared to enter. As Julia moved deeper into the house, the temperature seemed to drop. She could see her breath in the cold air. Her flashlight flickered, casting ominous shadows on the walls. The floorboards creaked beneath her feet, and every step echoed through the empty halls. She decided to head upstairs. Each step up the staircase felt like an eternity, the wood groaning under her weight. When she reached the second floor, she noticed a child's room at the end of the hallway. The door was slightly ajar, and a faint light emanated from within. Curiosity getting the better of her, Julia walked towards the room. As she pushed the door open, she found herself in a meticulously preserved nursery. Toys were neatly arranged, and a small bed was made with fresh linens. It was as if the child had just left moments ago. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, slamming the door shut behind her. Julia's heart raced, and she felt a presence watching her. She turned around, and her blood ran cold. In the corner of the room stood a little girl, her eyes hollow and her face pale. "Who are you?" Julia asked, her voice trembling. The girl didn't respond. Instead, she pointed to a closet door on the other side of the room. Julia, feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, slowly walked towards it. She hesitated, but the girl's gaze compelled her to open the door. Inside, she found a dusty old mirror. As she looked into it, she saw not only her reflection, but also the reflection of the girl, standing right behind her. Julia spun around, but the girl had vanished. Panic set in. Julia tried to open the nursery door, but it wouldn't budge. She banged on it, screaming for help, but her cries were absorbed by the thick silence of the house. Desperate, she turned back to the mirror. In the reflection, she saw the entire Thompson family standing behind her, their faces twisted in sorrow and anguish. They reached out to her, their ghostly hands passing through her body, sending chills down her spine. "Please, let me go," Julia begged. The apparitions whispered in unison, "We are trapped. Free us." Julia's mind raced as she tried to comprehend their words. She remembered the stories of the house and realized that the family had never left. Their spirits were bound to this place, and they needed her help to break free. Determined, she looked around the room and found an old, tattered journal on a shelf. It belonged to Mr. Thompson. Flipping through the pages, she discovered a ritual to release trapped souls. Gathering the necessary items from around the house, she prepared for the ritual, her hands trembling. As she completed the final steps, a powerful gust of wind tore through the room, extinguishing her flashlight. The house seemed to come alive with a cacophony of whispers and wails. Julia felt an intense pressure, as if the very walls were closing in on her. Suddenly, everything went still. The temperature returned to normal, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. Julia opened her eyes to find the room empty, the spirits gone. She breathed a sigh of relief, feeling the weight of the house lift off her shoulders. She made her way back downstairs, her steps lighter now. As she reached the front door, she turned back for one last look. The house seemed different, almost peaceful. Julia smiled, knowing she had done something good. She uploaded the video to her channel, sharing her harrowing experience with her audience. The video went viral, and comments poured in, praising her bravery. But every now and then, she would receive a chilling message from an anonymous user. "Thank you for freeing us.